Hello gaming fans! Welcome to your favorite YouTube channel, Gaming Nexus, where you find latest updates and insights of different games. We are going to talk about top 10 facts about Baldur's Gate 3 that you still don't know. You probably already know by now that Baldur's Gate 3 is a massive game with tons of complex systems. But just how detailed does this game get? There's a lot of things you probably missed and a couple of handy tricks you could be using. So let's list off a bunch of stuff you probably didn't know. In Baldur's Gate 3, there's a mechanic called dip, which lets you dip your weapon onto certain elements to gain that property, such as into water puddles, poison, or fire. But with fire specifically, it can be dipped at almost any time, including off of teammates or off the enemy themselves, or you can even dip fire off yourself. You can also drop a candle down, light it up, then dip your weapon in the fire or equip a torch to light it. Then drop it out of your hand to dip as a fire source. So just keep in mind, there's always a way to dip fire. If a party member has fallen asleep, you can help them up, or a friendly shove can wake them up too. Featherfall makes party members immune to fall damage, which is not only handy for jumping from high set to new places, but this also prevents fall damage from getting knocked off from enemies as well. Did you know that goblins and trolls are absolutely terrified of spiders? You could probably use it to your advantage to distract them. Familiars are handy friends. You can call to your aid and have a wide range of uses, but different familiars have different properties, such as some having much higher fall damage thresholds than others, or some having massive jumping capabilities. Remember, if you use familiars, try to always summon one before each long rest. They persist through rests. So when you wake up, you won't have to waste skill points again on getting them back. You already have them with you, and you can save the skill points for a more important spell. An extremely useful tip is to pick up every pouch and backpack you see lying around. There are nice little folders, obviously good for compartmentalizing things and keeping your inventory tidy. They can also help you hand over dedicated things to certain party members and sift through multiple combat items during battle by putting pouches directly into your hotbar. A lot less scrolling this way. What's even more powerful about backpacks, though, is that when it's thrown far enough, the full damage breaks, the backpack and all the contents spill out. Then toss that where you want to go to light your path. Did you also know that familiars can sometimes jump directly through iron bars? You can also do this yourself. If you wild-shaped into a small enough animal, if you ever run across a treasure chest that seems difficult to open or you don't have the time to lockpick, you can always just pick it up, then send it directly to your camp to lockpick it at your own pace later. Did you also know that you never need to waste your inventory space for camp supplies, even though the warning pops up that you don't have enough supplies for a long rest? The supplies you have sent to camp can be used directly from the traveler's chest for your long rest. They say it's a bunch of weight in your backpack for more important things during your adventures. Party inventory is a great way to pass around different items, but it can be used in really interesting ways, such as sending items to each other, even while halfway across the map, useful for passing heavy barrels off, or even more handy handing off equipment that allows different movement. So if you're in a tough terrain situation, you can keep handing off the equipment between each other to get over rough terrain. One tip, while Baldur's Gate 3 is only on PC, is it? Try out both control schemes available to you. Mouse and keyboard and controller are both great options and can be used interchangeably on the fly. This can create some much more comfortable gameplay, such as using the controller while exploring, then switching to mouse and keyboard during combat. Of course, play how you want to play it, but definitely try both fully before making your decision. Engaging in turn-based mode by pressing Shift and Spacebar is immensely helpful in not only giving you a second to process your next move, but also freezes both timers and enemies in place while giving you movement. This is best used in ambushes to set up and lure enemies, then spring the trap while they're frozen to maximize your damage. Remember that not only water is feasible, but blood is too, which means that blood can also put out small patches of fire. It doesn't cover a very wide area, but the fact that this works is pretty interesting. Maybe it's obvious, but it's good to know that you can shift-click multiple items in a row, or control-click singular items to pinpoint your inventory selections. Any other tips, let us know in the comments below. And of course, for all things Baldur's Gate, keep it right here on Gaming Nexus. See you in the next video.